Genki has announced that a brand new Tokyo Xtreme Racer game is coming in 2025, and it has been 18 years since the last game in this series that wasn't just a mobile game. I've noticed a lot of people recently being like, what is this series of games? And should I actually be excited about it? What are the old games like? Bunch of questions. I've gone back, I've played Tokyo Xtreme Racer 3, which is one of the best in the series, to see how it is and see if we should be excited for the upcoming new game. So Tokyo Xtreme Racer is a series that's produced many games, all the way from 1994 all the way to the newest game coming out in 2025, and the ones that I'll be focusing on have the kind of main gameplay loop where they revolve around races on the Shutoku. This is the Tokyo Highway Network. All the games work differently, but basically you work on getting a car and building it up and customizing it, and then you cruise the expressway 1v1ing other AI drivers, and then getting more cash to upgrade your car to go faster. So there's a fair few games in this series, and a lot of them didn't actually get a Western release. Honestly, working out the order of all of the games in this series is like Kingdom Hearts levels of confusing, but the first Tokyo Xtreme Racer game that got a Western release was the release in 1999. Since then, they released Tokyo Xtreme Racer 2, then Tokyo Xtreme Racer 0, which comes after 2, and then Tokyo Xtreme Racer 3, which is actually the fourth game in the Western series. Also, they released 3 spin-off games in the series. They have Kaido Racer 1, 2, and Legend of the Mountain Pass. Also, 2 of these games were released in the USA as Tokyo Xtreme Racer Drift, so with a different title, but in Europe, they were just called Kaido Racer. These spin-off games are all based on races up the mountainside roads in Japan and not the expressway battles of the main series. The final game that we've really seen in Tokyo Xtreme Racer is the game called Import Tuner Challenge. This game was on Xbox 360 and it was basically the same as the previous games. This game's set in Tokyo, you're racing Japanese cars. It shouldn't be called Import Tuner Challenge, should it? Because it's not really importing anything, but yeah, good game as well. Anyway, as you can see, these are all very confusing. I'm full like Pepe Sylvia levels of freaking out about all the games on this list. But the game that I've been focused on and playing for the last couple of weeks is Tokyo Xtreme Racer 3 on PlayStation 2. And look, it's been interesting to play. I started my run in this game by picking up the Isuzu Piazza, which almost looks like the Isuzu Pizza if you read it really fast. And then I took it onto the Tokyo streets to get stuck into some racing. The main loop in Tokyo Xtreme Racer is that you drive up to another driver, you press the flash headlight button a bunch of times, and then you 1v1 them. It's a little different to other races because you both have health bars, and basically whoever's behind will slowly lose health out of their health bar, and whoever hits 0 HP first loses. You can also lose health by hitting walls and other cars, so the game doesn't want you to wall ride, but as I found when driving some of the roads, wall riding is still sometimes pretty OP. Now, the biggest map in this game is in Tokyo, and the Tokyo map is extremely fun. I went into this map a little bit recently in a video I did about the Shutoku Revival project on Asetek Corsa, but it's a really fun bunch of corners. This game features the Rainbow Bridge, it's got the C1, a bit of the one gun, and yeah, it's fun to drive. I like that you're managing the temperatures in this game. If your car gets too hot, you want to pit in so it kind of give it some time to cool down. It's fun cruising the highway. On the downsides though, for starters, we need to talk about the driving physics. And now some people in my chat were like saying it was great and really good, but I have to be honest, it's terrible. Like, the cars kind of slide a little bit sideways all the time until they get a little bit too sideways, and it's like an unrecoverable slide. I found the driving actually got a little bit more fun as I got into the faster cars in the game. I ended up jumping into a Toyota Supra, which was like a lot faster and it felt better, but I'm not going to pretend that the driving feels nice. I didn't really enjoy it. I should also say that the first few battles in this game are really fun. Like, you're lapping the C1 and all the places are new and you're racing different people, but after about the 5th or 6th battle, you realize that you're just doing the same highway over and over and over again, and you have to win like 50 or 60 battles to unlock the next area. It is a lot of grinding in this game, and it's not good. In other games like Gran Turismo, there's like a lot of grind as well, but at least you're doing different tracks and like different cars and stuff. In Tokyo Xtreme Racer, it's just you and your Isuzu Piazza and the Shutoku for like hours. It's so repetitive. Once you beat the first part of Tokyo though, you get to go to either Nagoya or Osaka, and you might think, oh, that's pretty exciting. Lots of new corners. But no, it's not exciting. Nagoya is a square. It's literally just a square. It's a square. It's 4 straights and 4 right angled corners. And Osaka isn't much better. It's like a rectangle with like 2 cut-throughs. The Tokyo map is really good, but the other 2 kind of are not very good in this game. Now, I have to be honest, a similar game to this is One Gun Maxi Tune, the arcade game, and that's one of my guilty pleasure games. I love playing it at the arcade, and one of my things that I think it does really, really well is that it kind of makes the races exciting, and it shows lore midway through the race, almost like you're in like an Ace Combat game or something. The drivers like shouting at each other, there's drama, sometimes other drivers like appear into the race, or there's a cutscene, or people's cars blow up and there's breakdowns. There's a full story and it tells it really, really well. This is kind of the thing that I want to see in Tokyo Xtreme Racer as well, but it doesn't. It just shows you a little bit of lore through the game, but it's mostly just limited to showing the names of the other drivers, like Totem Pole or Driving Sir, and their teams, which are like Rolling Guy, which is a very funny name for a team, and Diamond Image. You can also get your own name automatically in the game. It changes every now and then. I don't know what it's like, what causes it to change. For most of the game, my name was Ernest Hooligan for some reason. I'm not sure why. Otherwise, when you do like 50 races in a row, you do eventually get to boss battles, which happen every now and then. And you do get an intro with like some very funny sentences, and then you get to race somebody. And it's actually really exciting when you race a boss, but it's super rare in this game. It just doesn't happen often enough. I also think it's worth saying that this game has a very funny bug. It stops you from 100%ing the game. It's similar to like Gran Turismo 2. Now, as this game was made in Japan and then localized to a US or a European audience, one of the things they did was basically, because it was in yen, all the credits in the game, they just divided all the money by 100. So it would kind of match up with dollars instead of yen, but the developers forgot to fix some of the money-related like opponents. So to beat one of the final opponents, whose name is Whirlwind Fanfare, you need to have like, you're supposed to have 1 million credits in your bank to make them appear, but they forgot to adjust it for yen. So instead you need 100 million credits for them to appear, which just isn't possible for you to do in the game. So it means it's impossible to 100% this game. Some smart modders have gone in though and fixed it and patched the game, which is very, very cool. So if you are looking to play Tokyo Xtreme Racer 3 on an emulator, look up that patch. That should fix that issue. So yeah, Tokyo Xtreme Racer 3, look, it's fun. I can see why people vibe with it, but it's not... Look, I think it's pretty rough. I think nostalgia goggles make it look a lot better than what it was. But for the new game, Tokyo Xtreme Racer, that's coming out in 2025, at the moment, we only know a few things about it. For starters, it is developed by Genki, which is the same developers as the previous game. And we do have a few screenshots, which look quite nice. We can see that it's got the C1, the Rainbow Bridge. It's also got like a bit of the Bayshore route, past the Tatsumi parking area. And the only other thing we know is that the description says it's set in a sealed off future Tokyo. What does this mean? Well, we don't know. I've got a few ideas. Personally, I just think they're saying that it's sealed off with no traffic, because street racing is kind of frowned upon when you're trying to get manufacturers to approve their cars in your game. And in Tokyo Xtreme Racer 3, most of the cars that you saw on the track had like official written on the side of them. So they were like pretending that, oh, these aren't road cars. These are just officials driving on the closed off highway. There's nothing illegal here. Trust us. The other idea is that maybe that there won't be any traffic in this game. I don't know if that's going to happen. We'll have to see. And they do say that it is set in future Tokyo. I don't know what this means. It could be like future with like jetpacks future, or it could be like future 2026 future. So yeah, I am excited about this game to come. I feel like I've roasted the series a bunch, but it is very important for a lot of people, especially for like the kind of highway battles and a lot of the Japanese car culture. I'm excited to see what this new game is going to be like to play. There is a Steam page up, and we should hear some more information about it soon. As soon as we do, we will be, of course, publishing videos on it, so make sure you subscribe to this channel to have a look. Otherwise, if you liked the video, you can leave a like, and if you're a big fan of Tokyo Xtreme Racer, please let us know in the comments. I know this game has a really kind of strong audience. Like, it's kind of niche, but people really care about this game, so feel free to let us know. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.